Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you are doing well. I am guided by Spirit, and I'm recording this episode July 23, early bells. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. Disclaimer: all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. And in today's episode, I'm looking at Olivia Kail, and this is a cold case, missing persons case. And Olivia went missing on March the 4th, 2011. And she was originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, allegedly traveling with her boyfriend to Florida on a quick impromptu holiday. And the bit of reading I did yesterday was I believe her family or parents, or mom in particular, was a bit concerned or worried that she's going on holiday again, having just recently been on a holiday. And so let's have a look here what happens. So here we have March the 4th, and I've pulled out the numbers up until March the 9th, unfortunately. But because for me, the numbers are very specific, you can see the difference between the top and the bottom row, right? So the top row is very specific. Of course, we can still get a read on it and we'll confirm with it. But below, if we had to extend February for the purposes of energy flow, you can see, of course, there's a lot more numbers, which allows me to get more information. Okay, and now I've lined it up the way it would fall if we had to merge the two. So as the story goes, the last time her brother sees Olivia is she's on her way to Florida. Now, of course, it's safe to say something went wrong. And if I remember the information correctly, the boyfriend, long story short, reckons, no, he only went on holiday on March the 9th. So there's some bullshit going around here. And there is evidence of bullshit, 14.5. And I believe in this case, the 14.5 is going to play a more significant role in this case. And in this case, 14.5 speaks to groups and gangs. And if I read correctly, the boyfriend was associated or involved with some kind of gang or grouping. That's where your answers are. The boyfriend is definitely in the know of what happened to her, 15.6, the boyfriend. In the reflection zone. And I will say, when the case popped up on my screen, and when I started meditating, and then I actually stopped working on the chart yesterday, did something else, and the message came to me through Spirit, and then I put out the numbers. So I believe, one, she was misled. That's the first thing, misled. So in other words, betrayed by lies of a holiday. That's what I received. And not only that, because in this sequence, and we'll go deeper into the specifics, but as an overview, we have a gang around and there's organizational numbers around. Now, one of the theories was that she was trafficked. Now, I will say, as an overview, there is evidence of trafficking, but I don't believe it applies in the case of Olivia. In fact, I will just say, and just meditating on this again this morning, what the energy around here, this sequence of days, there's actually some serious nonsense going on around here. There's trafficking crimes I'm picking up. And I dare say there's a serial nature killings going on around here as well. It would be for any of the hardcore crime sleuths during this time in this area. So if we go from Pittsburgh, I would go more in the Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania, not necessarily to Florida, but I would stay more on the East Coast there. There's evidence of serial numbers here, 16 sevens in these reflection zones. However, in both cases, trafficking and a serial killer looming around you, I believe, and it needs to be tested. There was more of an interpersonal situation going on here with Olivia and her boyfriend. That's my theory. Related to his or a gang he was associated to. The small little ragtag motherfuckers. These little wannabes. And unfortunately, in the case of Olivia, we have a 7 on the scene as well. And unfortunately, the 7 does not belong to Olivia. So either the 7 belongs to the boyfriend's date of birth, or it alludes to some kind of police situation again, and I say it lightly. I'm not saying the whole police force, but I'm saying there is involvement in some way, shape, or form. This day here, March the 7th, is the reflection day summary of when she went missing or last seen. And we note in the day as well, there's a 7 here. So there's definitely bullshit going on in the air here. I always find it interesting when I did a read and when I was getting an energy read on the situation. And I'm not discounting the efforts of any law enforcement agency. It's not an easy job. Because unlike what I do, they have to work in the real and evidence proves the case. But the issue is when people who are handling the case are actually involved in the treachery itself. Not directly on the case, but someone around. Because if you work in the police force, you have access to documents and, evidence. Anyway, let's see if that theory is right. Well, I've just been given a visual cue that I got a visual cue of blue flashing lights. So, in addition to the spirit message I received yesterday, it also included why the idiot did this. So when you are being initiated into a gang, that kind of situation, you have to prove yourself. That is the message I received. This guy who belongs to a gang or associated to a gang has to prove himself. Now, if we want to dip down to the bottom here, has to prove himself to the higher ups. There's it there. That is the message directly from Spirit yesterday, and the numbers are confirming it. Let's have a look here. This is a terrible story. Because can you imagine the shock and horror when she realizes what is going down? And it happened because look here. March 4. So we got all of these 4s out of place here. So 4, if we go on the theory of she was betrayed, the ultimate betrayal, 4 is about facts and figures, the truth. So there's untruths going on here. And it's confirmed in the reflection as well. 14.5, bullshit. She was lied to. So in other words, Olivia did not have an intention to disappear or go away or run away or issue. She was lied to, misled. And look what happens on the next day. March 5, here's this horrible 5. That's when humans mess around with humans. When humans interfere with humans is this number here. And unfortunately, this would have been a massive shock to Olivia. She was betrayed, led into a trap. And what concerns me about this issue is the day before we see the presence of this 10-1. This is where alerted me to foul play, and that's why I started on March 1. So we got this organizational number. Now let me just say the difference, because there is a theory that she was trafficked, right? 10-1 is an organizational number, but it's a smaller organization. Okay? Versus, and I'll show you here, I did see one. Versus, for example, the 33, which has been a common number these days when women are trafficked, right? The issue here, and I believe this is on an interpersonal level, this is a small grouping. The issue here, we find a conflict between, this technically is a conflict between two women. Sorry, Olivia was pinging on me. Here's an issue here. Conflict of interest. Feminine energy. And in fact, it actually even dawned, I'm just been reminded of a notion I was given yesterday, and that is, there may have been another woman in, like this guy would have had another girlfriend. Or he would have been dating someone else as well, right? I believe it's been confirmed now as well in spirit. He lured Olivia in as part of his rites of passage, is the word I had yesterday. So if I was the family that has gone through tremendous pain on this and friends, I would go, that guy that she left in the car with, him and his buddies. But there's also 7s around here, and that is horribly troublesome. So I believe she was lured in as part of a little group, little and small guys, as part of his rites of passage. And Olivia had no clue this was going to happen to her. And I must say, when I look at Olivia's date of birth here, very good numbers. And this is the unfortunate thing of people who pass young, and we can debate all we want, but it always intrigues me what the potential is of a person that had she gone on into maturity. These are serious numbers here. This is like, let's just say, if Olivia had everything good in terms of growing up, the right direction, discussions, etc., she could easily have become a multi-millionaire. I dare even want to say billionaire. I mean, to have 4610, all these tens here, that's big deal. 22 for the masses. In fact, she's got very good spiritual number. 17-8 is a very good spiritual number. It's the psychic, communicating as a psychic, 17-8. 16-7 is the psychic. So also a gift to the gab, good communicator. Hidden 26-8, I wouldn't want to piss her off, because if you do, it will come back. But very good organizational numbers. Very, very good numbers. Solid numbers. But of course, when we're young and we have bad intentions, this was no accident. There is level of premeditation here. So I believe Olivia was lured into her boyfriend's little gang rituals, unfortunately. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for now. I would be knocking on the boyfriend's door again. Any evidence of the crime? I'm getting word of mouth. There's someone serving a prison sentence at the moment. I'm seeing an image of a prison. I wonder if someone will talk about this one day. But there's, yeah, let's leave it at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please leave your comments and thoughts. I do engage with them, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay alert. Bye for now.